Okay, good morning. I just want you to know that last night, because I'm coming back to university, I spent the night working very late on this presentation without much sleep. So I kind of, I maybe feel your pain a little bit. It's 10 o'clock, if I remember rightly. It was, well, I was never an MA, but it was quite an early morning for me. So yeah, oh, look at that. How did that get there? Sorry about that. There's a on the right little tip. If you ever do a presentation, make sure there's not a typo on the intro slide of your presentation when you're pitching to people. Okay, so my name's Mark Freeman. I'm creative director of Movement, and Movement is a mobile marketing specialist agency. I work with Clive, who's our MD. Rachel Butterworth here works with me. She's our precociously talented new creative who works with us. Feel free to ask her anything, any questions, or feel free to stop and ask me any questions throughout as well. Because I'm creative director, there isn't so much on measurement and statistics and stuff like that. What I want to show you today is the kind of broad canvas, really, of what you can do with mobile, and I'm going to try throughout to relate it to social media and social marketing kind of stuff. My background, actually, back in 2002, one of my first early jobs was working in what was then known as online communities in the horse racing world, where I'd try and I basically used to go into online forums and give false tips for bookmakers, but actually we might want to cut that bit out later on. So anyway, there's a video coming up which lasts for about 4 minutes, which has loads of stats flying at you and stuff, so get your pens at the ready. What we're going to do, I'm going to talk for maybe 45 minutes. If it drags on, I'll try and speed up a bit so we can get to a workshop session at the end. Now, I always find workshops can be a little bit short, so I want to try and give you today about half an hour, 40 minutes to work on the brief that I'm going to give you later on. So pay attention to this broad canvas of stuff I'm going to show you. And yeah, here's so hands up who's a student, who's a MA student here, who's studying, and so hands up who's a student. I can't be, who's like an MA student here, who's studying?
Marketing and social media from Middlesex University.
And from Chicago? And who are like staff, who are faculty people? Okay, great. So, right, here's a video, and I'm going to go and get myself a glass of water or something. Oh yeah. This is also the first time I've done this presentation as well, so we can learn along together with the little glitches that happen on the way. There's an email from my mate Luke, who's invited me to the pub. Just switch that off.
I bet it's for a different time, right? It's off from now.
Yeah. I texted him 5 minutes ago and said, look, just... There should be sound coming up. Can you read that okay? So now you know. Although, actually, I disagree with that. I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen. No one knows where anything's going to go. So whoever's been talking to you and whatever I say today, it's pure guesswork. No one actually knows what's going to happen in the future. It's just, it's guesswork. But we do know that things are changing at an alarming rate, at a crazy rate. Here's some more up-to-date stats for you. Anyone know how many mobile phones there are in the world? Was that in the video just then? It's 2 years old, that video. Does anyone know how many mobile phones there are in the world? Anyone want to take a guess? Would you like to take a guess, madam? 6 billion. That's not bad, actually. I'll give you that. 5.3. You're only 7 out. Only 0.7 of a billion out. But compared to 1.2 billion PCs in the world and 1.5 billion TVs in the world, you can see that there's a massive opportunity there. And this is a medium that people have on their person all the time. It's always switched on. It's switched on when you're awake. Some people leave it on when they're asleep. There's the last statistic about 2 years ago I looked at this said that 40% of people sleep with their mobile phones on and use it as an alarm clock. And I think maybe with smartphones, people like the iPhone, people tend to use their iPhones more as an alarm clock. Even now, I don't know if you heard that thing over the new year about the iPhone alarm didn't work on January the 1st and everyone missed their flights back home or something. I always think, get a proper alarm clock, get a clock radio or something. It's a crazy world we're living in. And actually, anyone know the population of the world? I'll give you that again. There are only 2 out, 6.8 billion people in the world. So, as you can see, that's what's the percentage of 80%. Yeah, 80% of the world. But then we don't know how many of these mobile phones are stuck in drawers and stuff. And in some countries, like in this country, there are more mobile phones than people. But then, as I was putting this together, I had to think about social media because this is the course, right? And as I was thinking about mobile, I started thinking about phones and thinking about thinking about PCs as well, and started thinking, there's no surprise really that any of this is social. This bloke, the head of, what's his name? Let's have a look. Mark Donovan, VP of Mobile at Comscore, the stats and measurement people, very clever bloke. He said this: that social media is a natural sweet spot for mobile, since mobile devices are at the centre of how people communicate with their circle of friends. Whether by phone, text, email, or increasingly accessing social network sites via a mobile browser. Now, I read that and I considered that and thought, it's an obvious point. But then, actually, hasn't this always been the case, pretty much? It's always been the case. So what I'm going to do today is take you right back to 1875 and look at, and go way back into the past, and then have a little look into the future as well. And we're going to look at the history of mobile marketing from 1875 to 2020. I promise you, the 1800s bit will be very quick and painless, I promise you.